Welcome back. Well, let's talk about Biocon, which was in focus because it reported what was a mixed set of Q1 numbers. Revenue came in flat, margins declined, but it was aided overall by a one-off in terms of sales from the Eris Life deal this quarter. I did catch up with Shreehas Tambe, who is the MD and CEO of Biocon Biologics, and began by asking him about the quarter gone by in the biologics business and the growth they see going ahead.
On a reported basis, the numbers may look that we've had a 3% growth, but you're right, on a like-to-like basis, there's been a substantial change, and that change is 11% on account of the discontinued branded formulations business that, if you recollect, we had in the past monetized through a strategic alliance that we signed up with Eris Life Sciences. So that, if you account for that, that brings the growth to 11%. But what I also want to point out to you is last year's similar quarter also had a very substantial licensing income that we had posted, which is a part of our business. But this quarter, we've seen the growth on the back of very strong product sales and market shares that we won. So if you look at that part, the growth is actually 19% over a similar quarter last year. So I would say we've had a very strong beginning to fiscal year 25.
Okay. Now your Malaysian plant where insulin aspart has been filed from, it was classified as OAI, official action indicated, in October of 2023. What is the current status of remediation? When do you probably expect a re-inspection and possible approval of insulin aspart?
Yeah, and that's an important point because, as you rightly said, we have already responded to the OAI and the commitments that we had made to the FDA on the CAPAs that we had committed to, which is the corrective and preventive actions that we had proposed in response to the observations that the FDA had made. As you know, there are no outstanding questions on the science, so the product can get approved the moment we've got the OAI status clarified and settled. So we are in the process of having that dialogue. We did engage with the agency, and once they are able to schedule an inspection on site, we're very confident that that will be behind us. What is important for your viewers to also know is that the same site, including the aspart product, has been approved by the European authorities and several other authorities across the world. So we feel very confident about the GMP status and about the product as a whole.
Okay. Bevacizumab, that's filed from your Bengaluru facilities. Status on that?
So we did have an inspection at the site. It was a very large inspection, and it's not just for bevacizumab. In Bangalore, if you know, we have a very large manufacturing site. It has 6 different manufacturing units. So when the agency came with the intent to optimize and bring efficiency to their inspections, they have done a GMP inspection and a pre-licensing inspection, or a pre-approval inspection, as we call it. And they have completed the inspection for bevacizumab and ustekinumab, both as pre-licensing, as well as the GMP inspection for the rest of our facilities. So at the end of it, they did issue a Form 483, and there were 10 observations that we received across these 6 manufacturing sites, which we're very confident of responding to in a timely manner.
Okay. So as of now, the bevacizumab approval depends on the remediation of those 10 observations in the Bengaluru facility.
It requires bevacizumab. Right now, again, there are no questions on the science, so the dossier is ready to be approved. But it does require the resolution of the CAPAs, and once you have an inspection, which we have had, it is in a very timely manner that we've actually had the inspection, that the agency will make a determination on the new application we've made for the product. I should remind you that we continue to supply a lot of product to the United States from the very same facilities for trastuzumab and pegfilgrastim that we just talked about.
Okay. Can you tell us about aflibercept? There's a litigation pending there, as well as adalimumab. How is it picked up? You launched it in July of 2023 in the US.
Yeah, aflibercept is a very large asset in terms of its revenues. It's over $10 billion in innovator sales that were posted last year. So it's clearly a very interesting asset. And we have had the opportunity to be the first to file when we acquired it from Viatris. And now, we've recently been the first to be approved in the US as an interchangeable. We've also had approvals in the past in Europe, in Canada, and in the UK. So we feel that the uncertainty around this product are behind us. Now it's the question of launching this product commercially. We have reached a settlement on the patent with Regeneron and their partners in in Canada, where we will be launching the product mid of next year. So that has been cleared. We will be talking to them in other territories, and then of course in the US we are in a litigation. So once we have a clarity on how that's going, we should be talking about when to commercialize this product and bring it to patients in the United States.
Okay. Well, there were a lot of questions about debt on Biocon Biologics books as well as the consolidated entity. It stands at around $1.2 billion currently for Biocon Biologics. The company has said that it remains a priority to reduce. But what are the measures that we can expect and the timeline of reduction in FY25? And what is the targeted debt figure that the company will be comfortable with?
I think the first thing that we need to look at is what is the intent and what are the actions that the company's taken. I've said on your channel in the past too that we're very committed to addressing the debt position. Historically, Biocon Group has never been in a position where we've been in a leveraged position here. This is a transformational acquisition, and we've incurred this debt only to make sure that we do this in a manner that transforms Biocon Biologics to a very different league. Having said that, if you see the actions we've taken, we have prepaid part of the loan, 200 million of that, in fact, ahead of time, December of last year. And then early this year, we paid down another 50 million, which is way ahead of time, which clearly shows our intent and action that we are committed to debt reduction. In terms of what would be our comfortable position in terms of debt to equity or debt to EBITDA ratios, I think we should look back in terms of what it has been in the past. That would be a good indicator to see historically how risk-averse the group has been. So we expect to move in a direction which will be healthy.
Okay.
And risk balance.
But are you looking to probably get an investor on board when it comes to Biocon Biologics? Maybe the likes of Serum increasing stake, private equity money coming in?
Yeah, I mean, Serum is already an investor in Biocon Biologics. If you know that they have invested in us to the extent of 150 million before and another 150 million later. So we believe that they've been with us for a long time and a very strong investor with us. But there are obviously all the time there is an interest in investors wanting to come in. It's important for us to look at this in terms of how can each of them add value to us strategically. I should also tell you that beyond Biocon Biologics, we are a part of Biocon Limited, which is a very large and strong group in terms of its capabilities and has several options at its disposal to see how we can work on paring down debt. And we are working closely with them to seeing how we can deploy any or all of them.
Okay, let's do one thing. Let's take a short commercial break on that note. Lots more coming up on the other side. Stay tuned.